What's going on, guys? It's Michael MGF, and today I'm going to be doing my first LEGO 2014 review on the DC Comics Superheroes Batman Man-Bat Attack. And the set number for this one is 76011. The recommended ages are 6 through 12, and it has a piece count of 184. And it retails for $19.99. Now, I myself found this one at Walmart, and this was the only 2014 set that they had. The Man-Bat Attack is the only 2014 set that I have heard is showing up. Obviously, we have like Ninjago 2014 sets, but I mean, in terms of LEGO Star Wars and LEGO Superheroes, this is the only set. And I've heard that it has been showing up at Toys R Us as well. It actually didn't hit my Toys R Us in time. My Walmart actually ended up getting it first, and I wasn't even looking for it at Walmart. I ended up spotting it, and I was like, well, holy crap. But anyway, this set, given that it retails for $20, it's actually a great price. You get 3 iconic characters. You get Batman in his black suit. You get an entirely new Nightwing, which is a fantastic minifigure, and we get the debut of Man-Bat. And Man-Bat is a great minifigure, and Nightwing's glider, not to mention the Batcopter itself. Given the piece count, as I stated, it's a really fantastic set for a really fantastic price. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the 3 minifigures included. Okay, so starting off with Ben Affleck, Batman himself, you can see that we've got the standard Batman. This is nothing new at all. We've had this Batman for a couple of years now, but it is definitely a very awesome Batman with its fantastically printed torso. That is everything you would expect from a Batman minifigure, and then of course you do have some sweet back printing, which also has the continuation of his utility belt, and this is the standard Batman cowl that we started getting with the Batman jet ski from last year, and definitely a great cowl, better than the previous Batman cowl. And if we go ahead and take it off, you can see we do have the standard Batman head with the white band to make his eyes appear white when the cowl is on. And then of course you do have an alternate facial expression, which is a more sort of confident facial expression, which is definitely pretty awesome, and generally the perfect Batman minifigure in my opinion. I can't really see the LEGO group making a more iconic looking version of Batman. He does also include a standard Batarang, which is nothing new as well. You know, we've seen this thing before, but it is definitely a great design, and the minifigure grips onto it very nicely. And of course, he does have a standard set of blank black legs and the signature Batman pointed cape. So great to see this Batman variation again. Nightwing is super awesome and is definitely the highlight of this set for one reason alone, and that is the fact that we have not received an update on this minifigure since 2006. That's a long time, so it's really great to have a new Nightwing, and this Nightwing is entirely unique to himself because he is in a red color. And I can't name the comic off the top of my head, but in the comics, Nightwing does eventually change his color to red, and that is what this figure is based off of. I honestly am more of a blue person, so I wouldn't have minded to see him in blue either, but each color works, or either color works for that matter, and the torso is definitely really great with the Nightwing symbol on his chest in red, definitely looking awesome with a ton of detail on the front there. And then the back of the torso, continuing the Nightwing symbol, is also great with some ripples beneath that, and it's just definitely a great printed torso. And then his legs are blank, which is unfortunate, but most minifigures in LEGO Superheroes legs are blank anyway, but it doesn't really take away from the minifigure all that much. Something I do want to mention is if you saw my review on this minifigure, I actually acquired this minifigure before this set came out because these minifigures were leaked on eBay, but you know, in that review I showed that he was going to include 2 translucent red rods, and that was actually not the case. Those rods were not included with this set officially, and I think it would have been good if they did include them, but then again, I think we all have at least 2 red lightsabers lying around, so we can easily grab them for ourselves if we'd like. So nothing too major, just something I figured I'd note on, given that I included them in the review thinking they were going to be included with the minifigure. But you can see that the head is a really great head with the Nightwing mask looking awesome. He's got red eyes instead of white, which is definitely different, definitely changes things up, and he does have an alternate facial expression, which is also very nice. If we go ahead and turn that around, you can see this as well, similar to that of Batman. It's also a very confident looking facial expression, and definitely very cool. I absolutely love both facial expressions, and he does have the spiky hair, which is actually a very useful hairpiece, and it's great to see this hairpiece molded in black, as we haven't really had this hairpiece molded in black since we had Feora. from the Man of Steel sets when this hairpiece started getting molded in that color black. So yeah, definitely great to see Nightwing again. Super awesome, and just definitely super cool. So really, like I said, awesome to see Nightwing, you know, mass produced again in an official Lego set. So there you go, our first Nightwing since 2006. There are so many characters that I wanted to see made into an official LEGO minifigure after playing LEGO Batman 2, and this minifigure is one of them. So I am super hyped to see this minifigure finally portrayed as an official character in an official LEGO set. And I'm not gonna lie, on the LEGO group's part, this was not a challenge for them to make. All they had to do is quickly design a new torso and head, and then that was pretty much it. They didn't have to do anything else. They already had his hair and ears molded. And they already had the arms done as well from previous Monster Fighters and collectible minifigure series. So in terms of the production, it really wasn't hard for the LEGO group to do this. But that's not what matters. What matters is that this minifigure is great. He does include 2 sticks of dynamite, which are definitely pretty awesome. And he obviously can grip them very nicely. And they're pretty cool. And just getting them out of the way, actually, we can get a better look at his arms. And what's interesting about this minifigure is actually the entire torso with the arms attached were actually included in one separate baggie, as if it was, you know, some sort of, like, you know, valuable piece, which it is. I can see it breaking if it weren't in one of those little special baggies. But you can see the torso printing is absolutely fantastic. Definitely what you'd expect from Man-Bat. Not much to say about it, but you can see the same thing can be said about the back. The back is slightly less detailed when really there really isn't anything to add to the back. Now, something I think I would have preferred to see on Man-Bat here would be some rips in his pants, which we didn't actually get with this minifigure. I think it would add to the minifigure a lot, but it's okay. You can see that we do get a really nicely designed printed head. If we go ahead and take his ears off here, you can see the head is fantastically designed with his teeth and red eyes, just really great. And then, of course, he does have an alternate facial expression if we go ahead and turn the head around. And this head, unlike Batman and Nightwing that are included with the set, this is the opposite of a confident face. This is the type of face that he would have as if he was being defeated by Batman or Nightwing. But definitely really great alternative expression. And the hairpiece that is included with the ears molded onto are fantastic, with some printing within the ears themselves. Definitely make for a great headpiece and definitely top off the minifigure as being the Man-Bat. But really, what defines this minifigure is the arms. And the arms, if you didn't already know, if you have never seen these arms before, if you don't own them for yourselves, these arms, they do not, you know, the wings themselves do not separate from the arms. They are one piece, but they are removable from the torso, and definitely a really great design. And the hands that are included with these arms are just the standard Lego hands. Really all it is the actual arms with the wings molded onto them that are unique about this minifigure that we've never seen before. But I mean, of course, we did see these components with previous Monster Fighters and collectible minifigure series, but definitely a great representation of Man-Bat, and I'm definitely glad that it finally happened, and we've got ourselves a Man-Bat. Now let's make Mothman and all the other villains that I would love to see. But regardless, you guys, there you go. There is Man-Bat. Okay, so now that we've got the minifigures done and over with, we're going to go ahead and move them aside for just a moment so that we can get a look at the Batcopter and Nightwing's glider themselves. So we're going to start off with Nightwing's glider, and these are just some extra pieces that I used to prop it up, which are not included. But anyway, yeah, so Nightwing's glider is actually surprisingly a really nicely designed glider. And you can see it actually has Nightwing's symbol, which is a sticker on the back of it, which is definitely very nice and really tops off this glider. It's a really nice design on the back because it's just, you know, the studs and these you know, these grates, they really make for a detailed looking back. And yeah, now you can see that we do have these little robot arms right here on the top of it, which can bend back and forth, and they have little harpoons on the top of them, which are definitely very cool, and really definitely sort of represents the detail factor of this design. And you can see it does have the wings on both sides, which can bend back and forth, and definitely really great as well, and that kind of makes it the actual glider that it is. And you can see we do have some flames being emitted from the bottom of it, because obviously it's a glider, it needs to propel into the air somehow, and it's definitely a fantastic design. And of course you have 2 available studs to fit Nightwing right onto it. Now, my only complaint about this is that it's a little bit strange. Even though Nightwing does seat, he does stand very nicely on it, he doesn't attach to anything. You just kind of stick him on there and he just somehow magically stays on there. It is a great design overall, but I think if there was something that his arms could hold on to, then maybe this would have looked a little bit more realistic, but I mean, it is still a really nice glider nonetheless, and definitely a really great design, as I mentioned. Given the small amount of pieces with this set, the Batcopter is actually a really nice design and definitely takes advantage of all of the pieces that it contains. But as you can see, we have a sticker which has, of course, the Batman symbol on the front of it, which is definitely pretty awesome. And the propellers on the top are really nice as well. And they've got these little rods that are connected by two little hook pieces, which definitely add for a nice level of detail. And of course, the propellers, each one can bend up and down by the standard hinge piece we've all seen before. And yeah, you can see we have the actual engines on both sides, which can also rotate a full 360 degrees, and those definitely look awesome. And you can see, of course, how can you go without flick fire missiles? We do have a set of flick fire missiles, one on either side, that utilize a trans orange cone piece on each tip. So we're gonna go ahead and try to hit Man-Bat over there, and man, I missed. It seems like I always miss flick fire missiles. Who doesn't? Try again. Flick fire missiles, go. No. Gotta try again. Go. This is not working. There we go. I'm surprised I actually didn't miss that. So, I mean, if you actually try, flick fire missiles are an effective playability feature, but definitely kind of painful. Anyway, you can see we do have a spotlight on the front, which also utilizes a trans orange piece. And you can see the cockpit does open up very nicely, but of course it kind of does get cut off by the actual propellers. If you have them in this position, that is, because then, it'll hit the little pole. But if it's like this, then it opens a full... well, it just opens up entirely. Anyway, so if we go ahead and take Batman and take off his Batarang, we can go ahead and seat him inside the nicely spacious cockpit, and that's really good that the more space with these vehicles, the better, because I can't tell you how many vehicles there are where you have to just shove the minifigure in there and then their cape just gets totally destroyed, which is definitely kind of a pain, but Batman does fit pretty nicely inside, and I mean, his cape does get a little creased, but it's nothing too serious. But once you get him in there, he definitely does look pretty cool in there. You've got the Batman himself inside his awesome Batcopter. And of course, you do actually get a control panel piece right in there. I can't even remember when that piece was first manufactured. It is such an old piece, but still looks pretty awesome and definitely serves its purpose. And yeah, there's the cockpit. And you'll notice on the Batcopter we do have a really great level of yellow highlights going throughout it, because obviously Batman's signature colors are black and yellow, and really definitely makes it look like the Batcopter that it is. And you can see we do have another propeller on the side there, of course, along with a actual Batwing. This isn't the actual Batwing vehicle, but this itself is literally a Batwing on the end of it, and you can see it actually has a little light right there, which is obviously another trans orange piece. And then the primary feature, aside from actually, before we go over the actual hook here, we do have a set of wheels on the bottom. So of course, across a smooth surface, it does slide very nicely, and definitely is a very functioning set of wheels. And what you'd expect. But you can see we have this little gear back here, which actually will lower this hook right here. And there really is no purpose for it in this set. There's nothing it can really do. But if we go ahead and turn this gear all the way, it's actually a really lengthy string piece. It's not really a piece, obviously, it's just string, but it is definitely a really cool feature. I'm not going to lower it all the way because you get the general idea of it. Plus, it is actually, like I said, pretty extensive and not really worth unraveling the entire thing. But I don't really know what you can use this for. I mean, perhaps you can have, I guess you can take Man-Bat and attach him to it, and if you'll go ahead and, yeah, do that. And there you go. Now we can just take off with Man-Bat, and Batman and Nightwing save the day. But I mean, other than that, I don't really know what you're supposed to do with this. It doesn't actually serve a, general purpose with this set. It's just kind of left up to your imagination, which is fine, but it is definitely pretty cool. And then, of course, if you just turn the gear the opposite way, then it will just go ahead and, unwind back into the Batcopter. So it's a really nice and effective playability feature, and just given the piece count of this set, which is only 184 pieces, they have done a lot. You've got flick fire missiles, you've got a super awesome hook, you've got Nightwing's glider, and just generally a fantastic set for the piece count. I'm not going to try to get the flick fire missile that's over there, but Yeah, and then of course you can take Man-Bat and maybe take the TNT and just like chuck it at the Batcopter and pretend that it blows up. So, but yeah, alright guys, I think that's pretty much it for the Batcopter. There really isn't a whole lot else. I pretty much went over all the general features, but the Batcopter itself, in terms of detail as well, I should mention, is definitely very nice. And this is a fantastic set, and you really do get your money's worth. So, yeah, alright, so let's go ahead and conclude my review on, you know, the Man-Bat copter thing of Man-Bat, Batman Attack Man-Bat. I just officially made a whole new set name for this. Okay, I think I've had enough. Let's go ahead and conclude this review. But before actually finishing this review, I have to show you the box, instruction manual, comic book, and some other stuff before we can actually conclude the review. But you'll have to excuse the price tag in the corner there. My Walmart was too lazy and didn't put the price tag on the shelf, and they decided to put them all over the sets. So that's great. But you can see we got a little graphic in the corner here displaying all three of the minifigures included, the basic specs for this set, which I already told you, and we've got this little bubble down here that says comic book included, this thing which I'm about to show you, and then we've got this Man-Bat figure that I showed you. I'm acting like this Man-Bat as if I've never seen it before. That is sporting the actual size reference. And then on the back we do have all the features that I just went over, and definitely some great graphics for this set. However, there is no action shot like we've been getting previously, and I do like the action shots that the LEGO Group put on boxes, and there is none for this set, which kind of sucks. But then the bottom basic info, the side basic info, other languages, all that basic standard stuff. Given that this set does have number bags, the actual build is pretty simple. It's only a 59-page build. It is definitely far from complicated and definitely very simple, but the actual instruction manual is, pretty standard until you get to the very back of it, which has all the advertisements and awesomeness. And you can see we've got the entire winter lineup for LEGO Batman. Those sets look so awesome, but I don't know why they didn't show up in stores like this one did. We only got the Man-Bat attack. It's like, where's the steamroller and the other ones, and sad face. But then we got our first official look at the LEGO movie sets, and these sets do look awesome. I'm probably not going to review them, but they still look pretty cool, and I'm definitely looking forward to picking up one or two of them. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for the instruction manual. The comic book included this time around is actually pretty cool, and you can see we actually have Flash and Batgirl and all the minifigures that we wanted to see. Well, not all of them, but some of them. And you can see pretty much the entire premise of this comic book is that they're trying to go after this diamond, as you can see here, and then Penguin doesn't get it because Batman stops him, and then Man-Bat gets it. And I'm going to try to hold these up clearly so you can pause them for yourself. And so Man-Bat gets it, and then it ends up in the hands of the Riddler, and the Riddler gets it, and then finally the Flash gets it, and then no more villains end up getting this diamond thing. And then continuing on, then after the heroes finally get a hold of the diamond, the Joker comes in on his steamroller to ruin everyone's day, and then the comic concludes with all the villains being brought to an end and then being locked up, and all the superheroes saving the day with Damian Wayne and Batgirl and Flash and Nightwing. So definitely a pretty cool comic, but I think it's definitely what's way cooler is the graphic on the back. The graphics on the back of these are always super cool, and definitely do the minifigures that are, the new minifigures justice. We've got the new Flash, of course, with the Flash effect behind them all, Damian Wayne, and we got Batgirl. Just super awesome graphic, and then of course all the other minifigures that were released this year, starting right about here. So yeah, definitely awesome graphic and awesome comic book overall. We get a pretty average amount of extra pieces. We have some extra studs here, some extra transparent plates. We do get an extra harpoon, some connectors, and what's really great is we do get an extra batarang. And I don't actually have a lot of batarangs, so this is actually pretty cool. So yeah, pretty standard amount of extra pieces.
Nightwing, move!
You did not just do that. Batman? Who is that guy? Alright guys, so that about wraps up my first LEGO 2014 review, and there are so many awesome sets that I'm looking forward to reviewing from this point on that are being released. I'm kind of terrified, but I will do my best to get them all reviewed for you guys on a consistent basis, depending on how quickly I can get the sets. But this one in particular, the first one that I did get, is a really great set and is just generally the best, set for Christmas if you can find it before Christmas for anyone, because this set, you got the Batcopter, you've got Batman himself, an awesome villain, Nightwing, which is in some sense Robin, and an awesome glider to go with Nightwing. It is just the perfect Batman set, and not to mention its fantastic price point, which is only $20. And for $20, this is very reasonably priced. Usually a set like this, with the way the LEGO Group has been pricing things lately, this should be like $30, but thankfully that wasn't the case, and it was priced in the right way. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this review or found it informative, be sure to leave this video a like below, as your support really does go a long way. A lot more work goes into these reviews than you would think, and your support is really appreciated. And you can also follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Links to both of those are also in the description below, and there I post all kinds of behind the scenes photos and updates and what's to come for this channel and all that good stuff. So, yeah, guys, that is about it for this review. Once again, fantastic set. I would definitely recommend it, and the price point is fantastic, so that is probably one of the #1 reasons as to why you should get the set, not to mention the fantastic minifigures and the really greatly designed Batcopter. Alright, guys, that's it, and I will see you guys later. Alright.
Bye.
Okay, well, I'm too lazy to put my camcorder on a tripod, so this will have to do. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on with the box on the DC Comics superheroes. Shit. Batman Man-Bat Attack. And the recommended ages are... No, God. And glider itself. But before... Gosh damn it, Batman. Damn it. So just, quick little Nightwing I painted. I don't think I'm actually going to include that segment in the video because that was totally unnecessary, and I think it's pretty obvious that I painted it myself. Woo! You'll have to exclude... What the f does exclude mean?